Another payoff. And he got him with a slider. Ohtani. And it's Teoscar Hernandez. Mookie masked. It's a grand slam. He sees and game ender.
What is up, Dodger? What is up, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers lose to the Astros in walk-off fashion. The Dodgers blew a 5-run lead. A 5-run lead. The Dodgers offense, minus Mookie Betts, minus Freddie Freeman, they were still able to build a 5-run lead on the road, and they absolutely imploded. Evan Phillips continues to struggle. This Dodgers offense late didn't have many opportunities, but still, this one falls on the bullpen. Evan Phillips continuing to look far different than that elite fireman reliever that we saw for so many years in this organization. Since 2022, Evan Phillips really had established himself as one of the best high-leverage relievers in all of Major League Baseball. And heading into this appearance today, he had a 9.39 ERA in July. And today, he absolutely imploded against this Astros lineup. Absolutely just was not able to go out there and execute. He gives up 2 runs on 4 hits, didn't record it out. And then Alex Bregman walks it off for the Astros late in the Crawford boxes with Blake Trinan on the mound. It was a really gut-punching, a just absolutely heartbreaking loss for the Dodgers to lose to the Astros on the road.
Down. And Bregman drives one. Ball game over. Up on the train tracks. Union Station is starting a party tonight.
And that's painful, man, because, yeah, you lose a tough game, and you lose to this Astros team. You dropped 2 games in this series so far. You'll try to salvage it with River Ryan on the mound tomorrow. But this Dodgers team, 62-44 now, just 5.5 games up on the San Diego Padres in the National League West. I could not be more upset about this loss. And yes, you don't have your full lineup. Yes, no Mookie. Yes, no Muncy. Yes, no Freddie. Yes, you are relying on Cavan Biggio, who had a really nice game for the Dodgers. Gavin Lux batting in the 3-hole for the first time in his career. He goes 1 for 3 with an RBI. Shohei Ohtani continues to absolutely excel, and you have no wins to show for it. Shohei Ohtani goes 2 for 3 with a home run, 2 RBI, an absolute moonshot. It was Space City in Houston? Yeah, well, that was to outer space. Shohei Ohtani absolutely demolished a baseball, and it felt like the Dodgers were going to run away with this one because the offense shows up early. You're getting a run. Robleski is pitching solid. Biggio's producing runs. The top of the 3rd inning, the Dodgers up 1-0. Shohei Ohtani at the plate, a 2-1 count, and he absolutely murdered a baseball.
That is a smash. I can't even see it, but I heard it. Oh, it's got to be long gone. It is. Shohei Ohtani to somewhere in Texas.
And after that, you felt like, okay, the Dodgers have momentum. They're going to split this series. You're going to feel good about getting a win. But I was remembering back in the Angels era of Shohei Ohtani, when Mike Trout was phenomenal and Shohei Ohtani was doing things this game had never seen before. And there was a famous tweet by @Matt Tomic. And he tweeted out, every time I see an Angels highlight, it's like Mike Trout hit 3 home runs and raised his average to 528, while Shohei Ohtani did something that hasn't been done since Tungsten Arm O'Doyle of the 1921 Akron Groomsmen as the Tigers defeated the Angels 8-3. This feels like a Tungsten Arm O'Doyle game for the Dodgers and not the Angels. And you look at Robleski. And Justin Robleski, yes, he's a rookie. Yes, he is a pitcher that's on a World Series team, a team that with World Series aspirations, high expectations. But he's out there and he's pitching, man. And he was a dog tonight. And you look at how they managed him in this one, and he gets into the 6th inning. He gives up a single to McCormick, gives up a single to Altuve. Bregman grounded into a fielder's choice to second. Altuve, they get the out at second. McCormick, he gets to third. That's runners on the corners. And then with runners on the corners, and Yordan Alvarez at the plate, Justin Robleski, what does he do? 2-2 count, 4th pitch to the bat. He challenges him right down the heart of the plate. 97-mile-per-hour heater. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't nibbling. A rookie going against one of the most dangerous sluggers in all of Major League Baseball. And he has a chance to get out of that inning after that, but he gets him to line out for the 2nd out of the inning. Gets Yordan Alvarez to line out for the 2nd out of the inning. And you still have runners on the corners. And then, of course, Dave Roberts comes out and he takes the ball from Justin Robleski with a 5-run lead, and he's trying to bring in Evan Phillips, a reliever that just has not had it of late. And Evan Phillips, it's a situation where you're starting to really get concerned if this is the Dodgers' best high-leverage reliever in the postseason. He can find it. He can get better. But with just one more game before the MLB trade deadline, I think the sirens are going off. After today, Evan Phillips, a 4.18 ERA. A 4.18 ERA. And that's just not going to get it done. Before he gives him the ball, he had an ERA at to almost 10 for this month. And he goes to Evan Phillips with runners on the corners, a 5-run lead. Robleski just was able to get out Yordan Alvarez. And Evan Phillips, he gives up a single to Yandy Diaz. If you look at that at bat, erratic, the sweeper, missing with the sweeper badly. 4th pitch, left that sinker on the corner. Wasn't the worst pitch, really a nice piece of hitting by Diaz. But then Pena, he reaches on an infield single to 3rd. So they get 2 runs across right away with Evan Phillips. Yandy Diaz single, that scored McCormick to make it 5-1 Dodgers. Pena reached on an infield single to 3rd. Bregman scored to make it 5-2 Dodgers. The Astros pull within 3. And the next batter, he falls behind the count 2-0. And what I didn't love about that at bat, 2 straight sweepers. Where is the fastball to set up the sweeper? Where is that fastball that you need to locate to set up those nasty secondary pitches? And then down 2-0, of course, he goes to it and gets a strike looking. And then he goes to the sinker on the 4th pitch, gets him looking. Then the 5th pitch of the at-bat goes back to that sweeper, and Myers, he singles to right. That scored Diaz to make it 5-3. The Astros pull within 2. And then Carantini, he hits for Dubon, and he gets another base hit. Carantini, he singled to left. That scored Pena to pull within 1. So Dodgers up 5-4 at that point. And Banda thankfully comes in. Anthony Banda, he comes in. He gets Singleton to line to left to get out of that inning. But 4 runs on 6 hits for Evan Phillips in that frame. And you had Robleski, and he just got out Yordan Alvarez. The kind of confidence that you have in that situation with a runner on 3rd, you're in Houston, and sure, Yandy Diaz definitely had some hard contact against Robleski. I'm sure the data, I'm sure the exit velo numbers and a lot of the advanced analytics that they look at and the technology and the resources that they utilize to determine how his stuff is playing at that moment. Sure, maybe it pointed to the fact that it might be a good idea to set up the matchup, but not with Evan Phillips pitching the way he is. And that is a crucial, crucial mistake. And think about this. Can you imagine if you leave Justin Robleski on the mound in that situation? He's looking over. He can feel it. This is one thing that bugs me, too. You can feel when Dodgers pitchers can feel it when there is a threat that they're going to be removed from the game. And I think that it enters their psyche to a degree, and it takes away their focus from getting the out, from focusing on attacking the hitter at the plate. But can you imagine Robleski's confidence if he's able to step right up, He just got out Yordan Alvarez, and he gets Diaz. Can you imagine the confidence there, knowing that, okay, I just pitched 6 innings in Houston of scoreless ball? The Dodgers win that game, and he's pitching with more confidence, knowing that, hey, my manager trusts me in that spot. So it's more of the same. I mean, look, it's the movie we all know the ending to. You just cannot be Captain Hook in that situation. But let me know down below in the comment section, what are your thoughts, guys? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I could not be more upset. The trash cans were banging tonight, and it really was just a very unfortunate loss for this Dodger team. But okay, and after he takes the ball, he goes back in the dugout celebrating and doing his photo op as we proceed to give up 4 runs. The loss is on the way. We got, is the Ohtani curse Jay Padilla 05? No, Ohtani's been outstanding. Ohtani's been great in this series. We got Scooble is coming. Wow, I'd love that. I saw Scooble took a nice little ovation. So we got the MV1 right now from She over on YouTube. 31 Ks in 2 games. Yeah, and look, that's the thing. This team, he had 15 strikeouts yesterday at the plate. Tonight, the Dodgers still, though, I mean, yeah, they struck out 16 times. 16 strikeouts for the Dodgers. Blanco, he had 9 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings, but you still were able to put 6 runs across, and not that many hits, 7 hits, but still, that was enough offense to win. And unfortunately, this bullpen, this is not a postseason-ready bullpen right now. And I know that Blake Trinan gave the home run to Alex Bregman. I didn't like that at bat either. You know Alex Bregman is coming up there to try to win the game, and you give him a fastball that you wanted low, and he misses location with it in that at-bat, and you were hoping that maybe you're able to just go pitch for pitch, and maybe he doesn't take advantage of that mistake, but that's a sinker that they wanted down and in, and he left it up and in, and Bregman turned on it. And then the first pitch is a slider down the way. So for me, in that at-bat, especially with the runner with their ability to take advantage of that, and you have the defense shift a little bit. Vargas was at first, Biggio was at second base. I mean, for me, that situation, I'm just avoiding the nitro zone of Alex Bregman, which is up and in that situation. But I will say, having said all that, I mean, as it stands right now, who is the best reliever on the Dodgers? Because Daniel Hudson, he struggled throughout this game as well. Blake Trinan, he came in and he struck out Jose Altuve. But right now, you don't have those guys that are attacking and dominating hitters that you have confidence in the postseason. So I absolutely think they need to add a reliever. Tanner Scott, where is he going to go? I mean, where are the relievers that the Dodgers are going to get? Mason Miller, that's the pie in the sky. I mean, he broke his pinky by punching the clubhouse, right? So that's definitely far-fetched, and that's a move that I've heard is very unlikely for any team right now in Major League Baseball. But I think right now, Blake Trinan should be closing games. I will say that. He definitely is the most reliable, high-leverage reliever, especially late in games. I think you'll use Daniel Hudson, Alex Vesia. You use them in the 7th and the 8th. And I think with Evan Phillips, it's touch and go. I mean, from the 6th through the 8th inning in high-leverage situations, you got to hope that he finds something that clicks for him. But right now, this bullpen needs reinforcements. Brusdar Graterol is going to be back soon. Ryan Brazier is on the road to recovery. He should be back soon. But really, this bullpen just does not have that lights-out guy that, look, I think one thing about this game was the setting, the atmosphere, that felt like a postseason game. I know it's a cliche, but it absolutely had more juice than any type of regular season game. It's the Dodgers. It's the Trash-Risks. We know that there's a lot of bad blood with these organizations, and you need high-leverage guys in those situations that you can count on to go out there and get big outs in big spots. And, man, I would hate to see Tanner Scott go to a team that the Dodgers could face. He's lights out. He's on an expiring contract. I really hope Tanner Scott is a Dodger by Tuesday. But let me know down below in the comment section, what are your big takeaways? Delirium says Dave Roberts believes that Evan Phillips is Jeremy H. I'm kind of hoping the Dodgers. Blake Snell, 15 Ks. Yeah, hey, I can tell you that the Dodgers were in on Blake Snell in the offseason. So, I mean, we'll see what the Giants do with him, but he's definitely put himself in a position to get traded. And if he does, that's definitely going to be a big shift in the potential odds for a World Series title for the contenders. I mean, who could go out there and get a Blake Snell? The Dodgers would love to have him because they're interested in him before he signed with the San Francisco Giants. Bring Miller or Skubal. This team chokes with runners in scoring position. Yeah, last night didn't fare well with runners in scoring position. Tonight, the Dodgers really, I mean, Shohei Ohtani, he absolutely did his thing, but they were 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Will Smith went 0 for 3, Pages 0 for 1, Ohtani 1 for 1. And you also really think about the big picture here. And when Mookie Betts gets back and Freddie Freeman gets back, by the way, I'll send some prayers, some good vibes for Freddie Freeman for sure, who's on the emergency list. So when he's back and this team's at full strength, if Ohtani's going to produce like he has been, you definitely want to see him in more run-producing situations. Will Smith went 0 for 5 tonight. He had some big opportunities in this one. Really, like I said, this Dodgers team tonight, they gave you offense. I mean, top of the second, after a 2-out Kike Hernandez walk, Kevin Biggio, 1-2 count. He doubled to right. That scored Kike for the Dodgers' first run of the afternoon. And then top of the third, Ohtani, he hits a blast. And Shohei Ohtani just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Shohei, you look at the power, 118.7 miles per hour off the bat, 443 feet. That ball had a family, Shohei. That ball is still probably up in the International Space Station, hovering around somewhere. But you look at the fact that you got 6 runs and you're feeling good about that. Then you look at the top of the fifth inning. Top of the fifth inning, Shohei Ohtani, he was able to draw a walk after a Nick Ahmed leadoff single. Then Will Smith, the runners on first and second, he strikes out swinging on a four-seam fastball up and in. So that's another opportunity that Will Smith wasn't able to capitalize on. And then King comes in to pitch, and great at bat there by Gavin Lux. A 1-1 count. He takes a slider. It's hanging up in the zone. He singles to right. That scored Ahmed. That made it 3-0. Good guys. Your boys in blue are up 3-0 at that point. Then Teoscar Hernandez, 2-2 count. He singles to right, takes advantage of a slider on the inner half, and the Dodgers get another run. Ohtani scores. The Dodgers played another. It's up 4-0 at that point. And then Pages, he pinch hits for Hayward. He goes down swinging. Then James Outman, he goes down swinging, both with runners on first and second. So they do get 2 runs on 3 hits in that inning, but they could have absolutely poured it on there and just went for the jugular, and it would have been lights out. That's where the knockout blow could have been had, and the Dodgers could have really made this one a laugher, but they weren't able to capitalize. And you look at the top of the 6th inning, the Dodgers get back-to-back walks, first by Kike, next by Kevin Biggio, and then after Ahmed fouled to third for the first out, Shohei Ohtani's at the play with runners on first and second. First pitch, he singled to left. That scored another run. Kike crosses home plate. Dodgers up 5-0. And then Will Smith, runners on first and second, he strikes out again. This time a cutter away. So Will Smith, rough night at the plate, goes 0 for 5, and big strikeouts and big situations. And Gavin Lux, he also goes down swinging with runners on first and second. So the Dodgers, runners on first and second, they just get 1 run on 1 hit there in the 6th inning. So still a 5-run lead. And we already broke down the 6th, but they're still able to get another run. Top of the 8th inning, Kevin Biggio, really the best at-bat I've seen from him since he put on the Dodgers uniform, and a 2-2 count. He fouls off a changeup. And then the 6th at-bat, he crushes a four-seam fastball middle for a home run, 374 feet to right center. Dodgers go up 6-4. And then the bottom of the 8th inning, Dodgers clinging, absolutely clinging onto a 2-run lead. And after a fly under right by Alvarez for the first out. Daniel Hudson versus Diaz, and 1-1 count. He triples to center. That was followed up by a Pena infield single to second. The Stros pull within 1 at 6-5. And a couple batters later, after a walk, Singleton, he's singled to right. And that tied things up at 6. Thankfully, Trinan was able to come back and get them out of the inning with the bases loaded a few batters later to strike out Altuve. But there you go. They get 2 runs on 3 hits there in that inning, in that 8th inning. And then we talked about what happened in the 9th inning, a walk-off home run from Alex Bregman. So it's not pretty right now for the Dodgers. And I think the only thing that you can really be happy about is the fact that, yeah, Robleski, he proved that he really is a talented pitcher. Robleski, I hope that I do not want to see Robleski on another team unless it's for a Skubal or a Garrett Crochet or a Mason Miller. Any elite arms, sure, but definitely not for a Kikuchi or Jack Flaherty or guys like that, because I was really, really impressed again with his outing. And how about this, too? I mean, what really pisses me off, too, is the Dodgers lose this game, even though it was pretty evident that, yeah, this meant more than just a regular season game. Because if you saw in the first inning, when the game started with Blanco, and when Ronel Blanco, he plunked Gavin Lux, well, they cut away to the Dodgers dugout, and Mr. Joe Kelly, the founder of the Joe Kelly Fight Club, he had some very choice words, and you don't have to be John Boy. You don't have to be an expert lip reader to see what he was yelling at the Astros.
Joe Kelly, who's had his role in this rivalry, has some words for him, or a word.
I don't know if he said push me or what was it. I don't know what it was. But, yeah, I definitely was trying to start some drama there. But, yeah, I mean, it was just really, really a very frustrating loss. And this Dodgers team absolutely 100% needs to go out there and solidify this bullpen at the deadline. You do not want to – you want to take out the trash. You don't want to bring the trash back inside, okay? And the Dodgers losing to the Astros tonight in Houston, definitely a big gut punch of a loss for LA. And like I said at the top of the show, you're losing to that Padres team. You're losing ground because the Padres are playing much better, only 5.5 games back. But let's focus all on the comments for the rest of the way. Adrian Sanchez, $4.99 super chat. Really appreciate you, my man. We got Eddie Chavez. I don't know what happened to old boy. He's probably hurt. Damn, D-Mac, I had to turn it off. Man, we got super chat from Malachi Ferreira. We gave up Paxton for Kirsch to come back. That should tell us that they're relying on guys to come back and be good. That's from Malachi Ferreira. Appreciate that fire take. D-Mac Roberts needs to give Friedman and Phillips a group hug. It's a bruh, because I love that. We got, are the Astros cheating again? Hey, I was listening closely. I had my ear to the speakers, wondering if I could hear some trash can banging. But you know what? It wasn't that. It was the lack of execution by the Dodgers offense in situations where you could have scored even more runs than they already did with the 6. And just, look, the truth of the matter is Evan Phillips is not the high leverage reliever that he was in the last couple of seasons for this team, for better or worse, whether it's his inability to execute on his fastball, it's the feel for the sweeper or the cutter. His stuff just hasn't been as sharp and as good as it's been, and they're using him in those situations. And I think for me, look, I say I'm not listening to the analytics. I'm trusting the recent performance of Evan Phillips and what I've seen from that, knowing that, hey, I'd rather see Robleski, who just got out Yordan Alvarez in that situation. Give me him versus Diaz. Let's see what my young guys can do. That's how you develop. That's how you give guys confidence. Pika Peep. What's up, Pika Peep? Imagine that. We got Mr. Classic. Front office just going to shove it aside and make more excuses. Kermit, our pitchers are either gassed or injured. It's not that they're gassed. They're gassed. I mean, the starters haven't gone more than 5 innings at a start on average since the beginning of June. It's going to catch up to at some point. Any chance for Crochet? The Dodgers are still pursuing him, that's for sure. Will it happen? We'll see. Talked about it a lot on yesterday's show for sure. We got D-Mac. Why is there always trash inside Minute Maid from Big Joe? J-Cam, this is not on the offense or the pitching. It's on Roberts. Phillips had no business in that inning. Yeah, I mean, that really is the most pressing issue from this game is, look, Phillips either needs to fix whatever's happening, or you have to reduce his role until you feel more confident that you can use him in those spots. And sure, you're going to lose a lot of games in Major League Baseball. You're going to have crushing losses. It happens in this sport. But whether this was a way for the Dodgers to see what they have at him before the deadline, to determine how many prospects they'd be willing to trade and the kind of moves they might be willing to make, based on that, maybe this is a little bit of a test for Phillips. And I'm sure that Andrew Friedman, if you guys hear that closely, if you hear that, that's hopefully Andrew Friedman on the phone with the Miami Marlins to get Tanner Scott to be a Dodger, because they certainly need another high leverage arm. And this bullpen, even with the guys coming back, you just can't rely on all of them to be able to come back and perform like they had in the past. Bullpen pieces are very one-hit wondery, right? They one-hit wonders, right? The Baja men who let the dogs out. That's kind of what the bullpen pieces are from time to time. Doesn't always happen. We've seen consistency from year to year from the great ones, but I think you have to take advantage of who's hot this season. And if you're truly all in on winning the World Series, go out there, make a bold move, and get a big high leverage arm. I'm still hoping and dreaming and praying for a White Sox package that includes at least Garrett Crochet. I love a Luis Robert Jr. Michael Kopech has nasty stuff that I think in this organization would play up and they could optimize him. But you can have Crochet. He's all yours. Go bang on a trash can. We have too many old relievers. That's from Moose 1032. Neil Kasamoto, Dodgers pitchers, too chicken to retaliate for Lux. They need to plunk some guys. Friedman is terrible from Showtime LA. Tommy Alvarado. Daniel Hudson always gives up the lead. Why does Roberts keep going to him? I mean, you don't have many better options if we're being completely honest. JWR said Kid earned that spot. I totally agree. Thanks for that super chat, $5. You guys lining it up. J Maga, thanks for that super chat. Keep going back to those. Let's see those super chats, guys. I'm going to keep finding them down below in the comments section. Glass now fading hard. I don't think he's fading hard. I think that he is in a little bit of a mid-season swoon in a sense, just in this, because the innings have gone up. The innings have continued to go up. D-Mac, how big does the super have to be for you to say fire Dave Roberts from Keith Evans? 499. I just did. I don't feel that way, but I read yours, so there you go. On that one, we got Keith Evans is on it. But BC in the chat, we got Paul, Kenny Chung. And here we go, 15.4 ERA in his last 7 games. Send Phillips down. That's from NS. Why was Joe Kelly in the dugout and not in the bullpen? Good question. I mean, he was not going to pitch tonight, and I think with it's still early in the game too. You never know with Joe Kelly. So, yeah, I mean, I think you look at the guys who are available. I mean, you had your best arms, right? You had the path to a win tonight, especially with the lead they were able to build. Get Tanner Scott, get Bellinger, get 2 starters, pitchers, and trade the rookies. That's from Jeff. Privilege of money. We got Robe had more in him tonight. Matty Man 5. Totally, 100%. Hey, D-Mac, what's Julio Urias doing these days? D-Mac, how big does the super chat have to be? Okay, we got more of those. Let's go down here, guys. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Lots of mad, angry, and upset Dodgers fans out there, and it's understandable. It truly is. I hear people out there, it's just a regular season game. Sure, whatever you want to say, but it still is pointing at some glaring issues with this team. Because think about this. If Muncy comes back, if Mookie comes back, when he does come back, Freddie's going to be back, right? They're going to get this lineup, and they're going to be stacked. But still, even with a stacked lineup, 6 runs is a lot of runs, even for great lineups, right? So you're still blowing games on the bullpen side, on the pitching side, even with 6 runs. So I don't want to hear anything about, oh, Mookie and Freddie and Muncy were not in this one. No, the truth is they scored 6 runs. And sure, it could have been 7. I mean, Will Smith, if he's able to come through in one of those opportunities with runners in scoring position, sure, this could have been a laugher. But the truth is you have to feel pretty good about scoring 6 runs and having a 5-0 lead at one point. Someone says, here you go, Yankees. You can have Tanner Scott. We good. What's up, Mr. Classic? John Chen, teams won't go far in the playoffs with this pitching lineup. Only playoff team we can beat is Milwaukee. Trade away. That's from Ray Soto. Fire Friedman. Wow, you guys are big mad tonight. Trade the whole team except Ohtani. Oh, come on now. Bilal K, the Dodgers should be willing to trade every one of their top 10 prospects because a blind man can see. Look, I don't think that the Dodgers are against that. I truly do not. Joe Rodriguez, D-Mac, do you wake up at 3 a.m. with cold sweats thinking about these trades? I absolutely do. Clearly, you're a fan of the show because I definitely say that from time to time. And I do. And I think about this 24/7. And one thing I do think about is their willingness to part ways with top 10 prospects. Look, you have to be willing to go all in. You have to be willing to burn the boats when you have a generational, once-in-a-sport type player in Shohei Ohtani that's capable of carrying a team through the postseason. When you have the kind of offensive talent that they have, you have to complement it with pitching that can get this team over the top. And I do think that this team would be more than happy to give up a Dalton Rushing and a DePaula and top prospects to be able to acquire a Garrett Crochet, but probably the assumption has to be at this point, how willing are they to give him $100+ million? Richard Flores, $4.99. Robleski had 1 out to go. Even a 3-run shot doesn't hurt you. That's a fantastic point. Is the situation at hand for Robleski, it'd be one thing if Evan Phillips was pitching like the Evan Phillips that we saw a couple years ago when I dubbed him Dr. Filth and we called him Fireman Phillips and we found out his nickname was Honey Bun and he was really a top 5 to 10 reliever in the sport in 2022. When he was just ridiculous, when he was putting up a 1.14 ERA. Then in 2023, a 2.05 ERA. Now the ERA is north of 4. It'd be one thing if you had last year's or the year before that's version of Evan Phillips. It also would be another thing if it was a 5-4 game or a 5-3 game with the opportunity to go ahead at the plate with a big home run. But the truth of the matter is, you bring up a fantastic point, Flores, look, Robleski had some margin for error there. Go out there. Let him face another hitter. I'm so sick of this. I'm so tired of this. It just makes it too easy on the other team. At the end of the day, you have to go out there and trust your gut sometimes because you're not going to just have all the success by playing every single matchup and thinking that you have to go out there and be a little too much of an over-manager at times. When I see the over-managing, that's kind of what I see right there. And you got to trust your guys, man. Trust your guys. We got year 499 Chicago package is going to be with LA or San Diego before the series deadline. Hold on to your butts. Yeah, I could see it. I feel it. I think they're trying to swing big. If they don't, it's going to be a sad day in Dodgers land because still tons of talent. And look, sure, are we spoiled kids as Dodgers fans? Sure. The Dodgers are like those rich kids, man. We're the rich kids, man. We got everything, but we want more, okay? We want more. And that's what this team needs. But no Teague says get Kopech. You score 5 and 6 runs, especially if you're a Premier World Series team. You should win that. Let's go down here, guys. Guys are firing off in the comment section. Welcome to the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel. By the way, guys, we are doing tons of giveaways right now, and I'm pushing for more, but we're at 93,892 subscribers. Once we hit 94,000, we will be giving away a brand new authentic Dodgers jersey for whoever the Dodgers trade for. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and comment, let Friedman cook. Let Friedman cook. And hopefully he's in the kitchen, man. Hopefully he's in the kitchen cooking up a fantastic meal, some filet mignon, right? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I really hope that he's out there and he's doing everything it takes to go out there. I hope it's like that Woody meme where he's like, hold up, let him cook, right? Hopefully they're trying to bother him. He's like, hold up, let him cook, okay? Because Friedman needs to add reinforcements. It hasn't ever been as obvious as it is now. Parades over prospects from Eric Jackson. You know what it is. You know the motto. We coined that phrase here on this show, parades over prospects, and we did it for a reason, because we want to see the first parade in Los Angeles to celebrate a Dodgers World Series since 1988. Keith Potter wakes up at 3 thinking about firing Dave Roberts, Jeremy H. Everyone is pretty pissed off right now. Keep up that energy, honestly. Dodgers bullpen, a farewell to arms. Mad and upset D-Mac, thanks for the Dodgers therapy from Semi. It's upsetting. You don't want to lose to that team over there, the team that stole the 2017 World Series. I know Kike Hernandez said that it's not a big deal to him anymore. That's fine. Everyone can have their own opinion. That is so okay. You can. But I do think that a lot of Dodgers fans, let's be honest. Let's be 100% honest. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. If this was any other team, maybe the Giants, maybe the Padres or Yankees, Cardinals, but this burns more because of the team it is. And yes, Correa isn't there. Yes, Springer isn't there. Yes, we didn't see Verlander. A lot of these guys, Cora isn't there. But let's be honest, this one stings that much more because it was that team that stole the 2017 World Series. A team that stole a World Series from a team that would have gone down as probably our favorite Dodgers team of all time, because that was a gritty team that deserved to win a World Series. We got blowing a 5-0 lead is insanity. DFLA, even though Will didn't hit, he blocked the heck out of Hudson's balls in the dirt. Yeah, DFLA, have that in my notes right here. And really, if the Dodgers ended up winning this game, that 100% would have been one of the number 3 or 4 reasons why was Will Smith behind the dish there with Daniel Hudson on the mound, struggling to find the zone, bouncing some pitches, and that definitely made a huge difference in this game. And you got to give him a lot of credit during those at-bats that he was able to find a way to just keep things at bay and keep the Dodgers in this one. I mean, the Loperfido one, you saw the slider. I mean, he was bouncing that one. He bounced 2 sliders. He was bouncing the slider all throughout his appearance. And, yeah, Will Smith did a fantastic job. And that really shows you how great of a player that Will Smith is. When he's struggling at the plate, he's still playing the most premium defensive position, and he's doing it at a high level, and he's keeping the Dodgers in this one by his performance. So I'm glad you pointed that out. I'm going to give you a fire tape for that one. So great take on that. I love that. Not giving Crochet the bag when he hasn't earned it. Moose Astros have injuries, 2 differences to choke. We got Roberts has no feel for the game. He panics and overmanages. Look, I love Dave Roberts. I will say that with no hesitation, but I've also said that sometimes when there's the wrong button to push, Dave will find a way to push it. Tonight was definitely one of those nights. Eddie Chavez, a $20 super chat. Great pitching versus terrible pitching was very obvious tonight. We know who needs to be sent down. But having said that, I mean, man, Evan Phillips needs to be better, man. Evan Phillips needs to go out there and find a way to get these results. Or you have to really shake things up in that bullpen, for sure. And that's why the reason, so when you look at why you don't trade for relievers with multiple years of team control, then you look at why the Dodgers don't invest heavily in relievers. Look at Evan Phillips. This year, an ERA north of 4. Last 2 seasons, he's pitched at an all-star level. They're volatile. Relievers are former starting pitchers. And they're that not by choice, because that's how they were able to find a role in this league. So it's unfortunate. It's a tough loss. It burns. But I really hope that if the Dodgers needed anything, if they needed any more reasons to go out there and push things over the top and say, you know what, I'm taking off the watch, I'm throwing it in there, wife's earrings, lien on the mortgage, pink slip to the car, you can take it all, pushing all the chips in because they believe in this team. We're going to see how much the Dodgers believe in this team in a lot of different ways. They might believe in this team by saying, we believe in the guys that are going to come back off the IL and contribute. We believe that these guys that are in there and the talent that we have is so good that we want to reinforce it. We are going to see that in the next couple of days. And I truly believe this Dodgers front office is hard at work trying to make an impact move, trying to take advantage of a roster that is $320 million. that they committed $1.4 billion to in the offseason. So, I mean, the talk, though, about Garrett Crochet is definitely concerning because the contract extension talk. But I did say last couple of days that there is a path to a Crochet, and that the fact that this damaged and really hurt his trade value, because there's only a handful of teams that might even consider for a second giving a starting pitcher $100+ million extension when he's only been an elite starting pitcher for 4 months of his life at this level. The Dodgers certainly could be one of those teams. So, I mean, there was a article today that said that GMs were shocked and stunned, and one of the comments was by a GM who remained anonymous, said, "Would I want to get a guy who doesn't want to pitch in the playoffs? Why?" So they're kind of questioning just him flexing his power there. But they're going to get, like, I mean, starting pitching would be great, and they absolutely need to do it, but this bullpen, it just has not performed up to the standard that they need for them to win the World Series. And one of the issues, too, you're not missing bats, man. 21st in Major League Baseball in strikeout rate. BC Astros produce players that hit at this level. Dodgers don't. I mean, there's some truth to that. Davis holding this team from achieving their goals for Michael Carrillo. Bregman equal ban from baseball. Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been something that I would have been okay with, or at least can I get a little better of a response there from Major League Baseball. But trade Bueller, par 3 bogey. Stop paying for big names that don't produce. Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. Shout to NBA Jam. Bouncing pitches equals tired arms. Bouncing pitches, missing location. Yes, it makes sense that this Dodgers bullpen is from California because they're the most heavily taxed bullpen in baseball right now because of the fact that starting pitching just has not given them the length that they need. They're going to need guys like Clayton Kershaw to find it and go deeper into games. Gavin Stone hasn't performed up to the level that we've seen since that shutout in Chicago. So Tyler Glasnow, his ERA has gone up every month of the season. Yamamoto, he's been on the shelf dealing with the strained rotator cuff. Bobby Miller, he had a rough start tonight for Oklahoma City. Walker Buehler, he had a tough rehab start. So you need starting pitching. I said a couple months ago, the first guy to bring this guy up, and that's Jack Flaherty. Right now, Jack Flaherty, you almost need Jack Flaherty plus a Crochet, plus a Skubal if you truly are all in on this team. But I still feel confident that a Crochet, a Flaherty, just one of those guys, and you got to hope that the current iteration of arms are able to get healthy and perform. But it's definitely a major concern, and it's going to be an arms race down the stretch. Other teams are getting better, too. Other teams are being aggressive, and it's not just the Dodgers. And teams don't want to help the Dodgers, too. They don't. They do not want to help the Dodgers, especially at the trade deadline. The Dodgers tax is real, okay? So, yeah. I mean, we'll see. Jameson Tyone. I mean, there's just, you got to go out there and find some way to maximize this roster and Shohei Ohtani. But here we go. Let's focus on all your questions, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, too. We're going to do a trade deadline special. We're going to do all trade deadline. LL Tuesday, Doug is in for a reality check. BC. For me, look, it's not for me. It's not reality. I mean, I've talked to people. I've talked to people around Major League Baseball. I've talked to insiders. And for me, it's the Dodgers are actively pursuing trades. They are swinging big. If that materializes, we don't know because it's a two-way street. And the big kicker is how in love are other teams with the Dodgers prospects, because this isn't the Dodgers prospect pool that we've seen in years past. You have one top 50 guy in Dalton Rushing and then another top 63 guy in DePaula. You have high upside guys later and younger guys, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. That's why I really do stop it with Crochet, D-Mac. Why? They are pursuing Crochet, so I'm not going to stop it. I'm not guaranteeing they're going to get him. I'm not going to do that because truth of the matter is they're keeping things close to the vest, and there's no guarantee the White Sox are even going to trade him. At the All-Star break, the buzz at the All-Star game was that it was going to be a little less likely that the White Sox were going to trade Crochet, just because if he finishes his whole season as a starting pitcher, you could still trade him in the offseason and try to get him and get a big haul. But I think right now his stock's never going to be higher. And if you're Garrett Crochet, this extension talk is a little risky on my end too, because they could trade you to a non-contender this offseason that doesn't need that doesn't matter. What are you going to do? Sit out? What are you going to do? Not show up? This isn't the NFL. You can't do that. Here we go. We got D-Mac. Can you shed some light on Dustin May's injury? Why can't he pitch with a torn esophagus? I mean, that's a pretty invasive surgery that definitely is not, it's a no-go. It's a complete no-go. And as far as why, I mean, they're not going to put him in that situation. I mean, a esophagus tear, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. It just doesn't seem like it's feasible. But as far as why you can't pitch with it, I mean, I'm assuming that just the violence of his delivery and just being out there. I mean, what if a ball gets smoked off the bat and hits the esophagus? I mean, there's just too big of a risk there. That's a pretty major accident and what happened and or just situation that occurred that you just had to address for sure. Mars says Bean Bregman tomorrow. Who is healthy? Anyone? Yeah, if you're healthy, if you guys can throw, if you got some play, go to Houston tomorrow. They could use you. Practices at or batting practice at 7 a.m. $5 from J Maga 22. If Roberts doesn't win the World Series, he's okay. Let me get back to that one. It's on the hot seat. So yeah, I mean, look, I think for Dave Roberts, it certainly is going to be circumstantial with what they do. I was talking to ESPN's Buster Olney, and he does think that if the Dodgers flame out, if they have an early exit, that Dave Roberts is going to be firmly on the hot seat, and that there could be a chance that they do replace him, just because who else would you replace? What other moves could you make? You already have all these big names locked up to multi-year deals. You already have your starting rotation pretty much locked up. You're not going to trade some of these guys, and you wouldn't want to in the first place. So it's not impossible for sure. Let's just hope that Dave is able to get that World Series, man. Definitely, because he knows it. He knows how high the stakes are. The stakes for Dave Roberts are this. I'll give you the stakes for Dave Roberts. If they get swept in the NLDS, he could lose his job. If they win the World Series, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Those are some high stakes right there. And that's where they are. Just putting all the cards on the table, that's where they are for Dave Roberts. And I'm not saying that it's a guarantee that he'd get fired if they got swept in the NLDS. He certainly would be on the hot seat. That's for sure. Good vibrations. Appreciate you on that super chat, my man. You guys are firing away in the comments here. Got to get Tony Taters on the mix, giving me all these super chats for sure. Astros are making a full court press on Flaherty. That's the other thing, too. Jack Flaherty and Kikuchi, both those second-tier arms are being pursued by the Astros. The Astros, they get hot. You want to face them in the postseason? You want to face them in the World Series? You know, part of the reason why you make trades, too, is to bolster your own team. But a very small reason is because you don't want to face that guy in the postseason as well. The Rich Hill talk is insanity. Yeah, I love me some Rich Hill. But if Rich Hill is the only guy that the Dodgers get at the deadline, I know this place is going to be extremely, extremely upset. He did pitch well with Pittsburgh last season, 119 innings. I mean, when I say well, I say relative to being a number 5 starter in Major League Baseball. Not great numbers, not elite, nothing close to that, but he still had a 4.76 ERA. But he got rocked in San Diego, an 8.23 ERA in 27 1/3 innings. But I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that he's a 43-year-old pitcher that wore down by season's end. The good thing is whoever's getting Rich Hill hopefully gets the fresh version of him that still has some gas left in the tank for the stretch run. But, yeah, Rich Hill, I mean, come on now. We got $2. D-Mag, we need 2 quality pitchers, if not early exit from Jose. Let's keep it going down. We got King Yellowman. Dave needs to go if they don't win the World Series this year. Dave Guzman, most likely the Dodgers get swept. A couple more here, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, too. We got $5 from Alfonso Lucio. Tony La Russa would have let Justin Robleski in because he wouldn't have been asleep in the dugout. It's a comment of the show from Alfonso Lucio. Michael Moran says, I don't know what that was, but the bullpen has been horrible for a month. They truly have been. If you look at all the numbers for the bullpens and where the Dodgers fare, I think a lot of it is because they're being overworked. But at the end of the day, their job is to go out there and try to execute and put up zeros and try to fare well with inherited runs. But it just has not been the case. But I'll give you the numbers real quick. I'll crunch them real quick here. Since the beginning of June, where the Dodgers bullpen sit, and as a team since June 1st. Since June 1st, so let's do the last couple of weeks. Let's do July. What's at the end of July? Just take a little quicker sample here. I mean, they're 21st in Major League Baseball since July 1st with a 5.62 ERA, and the one area where they're really struggling in is home runs, a 1.43 home runs per 9. That's the 8th most. But what really hurts is this. This is the number you need to know. Since July 1st, the Dodgers bullpen, heading into tonight, 88 innings. 88 innings. That led all of Major League Baseball in that stretch. So they are heavily, heavily, heavily taxed, and they're not at full strength, and it's coming back to bite them in the butt. And this team definitely needs to go out there and salvage this series tomorrow. The River Ryan on the mound. But we'll be back tomorrow, guys. Tons of trade talks. If you got any super chats on the way out, I'll read some more. Matty Man Dodge. I don't think we can beat the Reds in the World Series. What's up, Rebecca, Michelle, David, D. Neal? Stop blaming Roberts. He's not the one who's pitching. Yeah, he can only play the cards he's dealt. Jesse Winker to the Mets. Interesting. Jack, I like that. It's a fire take. Thanks for giving me the news. Winker's having a pretty solid year. D-Mac lead to call the innings eater legend Jordan Lyles. He is definitely an innings eater, if anything. He's good for some depth down there. Definitely, for sure. But if we're relying on him, that's definitely a good thing. A 499 super chat from Jason Diamond. Roberts should resign like the head of the Secret Service did. Let's keep going down here. Thanks for rocking with us, guys. I know it's a tough one. Ruined your Saturday night, probably. Hopefully, you can just go watch Deadpool and Wolverine and forget about this one. And hopefully, you get a morning win tomorrow to really get some momentum. Scooble greater than signed Crochet, for sure. No one's debating you there. But as far as availability, I just don't think the Dodgers have the requisite prospects to get a deal done unless the Tigers truly want to get out from underneath Javier Baez's contract. That really is the Dodgers' best path to getting Scooble, is absorbing what's left of Baez's contract. He was due $93 million at the start of this season. That's down now. You're around $70 million on Baez. But, yeah, if they want to go that route, that'd be their best path, and that's definitely a way that you can make up for not having truly elite prospects. Friedman is asleep. That's from Jeremy. What up, Jeremy, over on the X? We got Good Vibrations. What's up, Good Vibrations? Shout out to the Beach Boys. We couldn't beat the White Sox in the World Series. That's a broad take. Come on. Maybe they will. Hey, wouldn't that be awesome? You have a repeat of the 59 World Series. Hey, all the White Sox have to do is go on a nice little 57-game win streak to end the season. And, yeah, they'll be right there. Thanks, D-Mac, for the depressing post-game show. Yeah, trust me, this was a tough one. I was supposed to be off today, guys, but, 24/7, 365 all day Dodger baseball just for you guys out there. But, yeah, before you leave, guys, be sure to comment Charles D-Mac for manager. I'll take it. Comment Go Ohtani down below so you're eligible for the Ohtani jersey at $95K, and let Friedman cook for $94K. We'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned. Stay logged. Anything pops off. Dave Roberts ruins Christmas from Nando. Anything pops off. Anything breaks. We'll be live within minutes. So be sure to check here for Dodgers Nation over on YouTube at youtube.com/dodgersnationtv. And make sure you're subscribed and you have those notifications on. Professor Hamato, D-Mac, don't rest. Definitely not. Sleep my eyes open when it's the trade season. But thank you guys for joining us here on Dodgers Nation for the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Shout out to Tony Taylor for that new intro. That was fire. If you can go check that out, that's definitely great stuff from Antonio. But thanks again, guys. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm